sensory processing is what we all do every day when we take in sensations from our environment around us, sounds and sights and smells, and also from our body. And these sensations get processed in our central nervous system, organized, integrated, analyzed, and in a nanosecond we decide how to behave with all this onslaught of sensations. So if the hand is too close to the fire, we get the sensory message, we take our hand away. We use our senses to protect ourselves, to learn about our environment, to function during the day. Sensory processing disorder occurs when that automatic, instantaneous in-out process is jammed up somehow. I don't know the neurology of it, but it's the wonderful therapist Jean Ayres, who formulated the theory of sensory processing back in the 1950s and 60s and 70s. She called sensory processing disorder like a traffic jam in the brain.
So there's a number of different profiles, correct?
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, there's sensory processing, there's sensory modulation problems where we, most people who have that are on overload.
Okay.
Too many sensations come in.
Mm-hmm.
The person will shut down and avoid this onslaught of information that he cannot tolerate. Too many sounds in the classroom, too much perfume on the lady sitting next to you in the subway. It's just too much. There's under.
Yeah.
Do you want
and I've noticed just over the years kids that I call the crumplers. Just sort of crumple when things get too much. Is that sort of who we're talking about?
Excellent noun to describe them. They do tend to crumple. They're daunted. The world is daunting to them. Yeah. So they hide under the table. They clap their hands over their ears. They say, no, I don't want to touch it. No, I won't eat it. No, I won't go on this elevator. Let me be. That's the over-responder.
And I just want to stick on that one for a moment because I think so many parents see this. I can remember maybe 3 kids actually going under my desk in a session. And before I knew about SPD, I was sort of like, what's going on? And the parents and teachers don't know what's going on because it's not in our diagnosing manual. So we haven't been exposed to it. And I don't want to ask too many questions at once, but I'm just I've got so many questions for you. So just while we're at it, because I think that's a very common type that people are seeing.
Let me briefly go through a few of the other categories because it can be that a person has SPD, sensory processing disorder, and not have this over-responsivity to sensations. The opposite of that, this is another sensory modulation problem, is under-responsivity. This is the person who doesn't notice what's going on. So the under-responder seems to be very self-absorbed. You want to say earth to Jason, earth to Jason, and Jason he'll come if you maybe raise your voice, put your hands firmly on his shoulders, give him some intense interaction. That will wake him up. And Jason might be Albert Einstein on the inside. But this is the kid we typically say of this under-responder, oh, he's just not going to set the world on fire. Oh, that's just the way he is, you know, he's just, no, let's not stop with that. Let's not let that, let's not let him get away with it. We want to, well, for that child, we need to intensify the sensory input. And in fact, and when I was teaching and we had children like this, we learned to yell at them. And I'm laughing because, of course, a loving preschool teacher does not yell at her students. But we'd say, oh, it's so good to see you this morning. We need you. A really big volume. And the kid would brighten up, and that was the technique to help the under-responder. Then there's the craver. The sensory craver is not bothered by sensations. He does notice sensations, and he wants more sensations, and he is never, never satisfied. And as I'm talking, I want our listeners to know that we have 8 sensory systems: smelling, hearing, tasting, hearing, seeing, touching. Everyone knows about those 5. And we also have the vestibular sense, which is our sense of where our head is in relation to the earth. So every time we turn or bend or kneel or get on our tiptoes, we're using our vestibular system. There's our proprioceptive sense, which is our sense of muscles and joints. So we push and we pull and we press, and we are getting proprioception. And there's interoception, the sense of our internal organs that tells us what's going on. And a person can have difficult sensory processing difficulties in all 8, or many people specialize in the tactile system. So smells might not bother a person, but anything that he touches bothers him. I'm almost done with my list here. So we have 3 types of modulation problems: over-responsivity, under-responsivity, and craving. The person cannot modulate or regulate what's coming in. Other kids get it. Our little kids don't get it about what that sensation is significant about. Okay, then there is the person with sensory discrimination problems. This is the problem differentiating among and between sensations. Is it hot? Is it cold? Have I chewed it sufficiently? Is that a B or a D on the page? Is that a 9 or a 6? Does that say bed? Does that say Deb?